It started with words I never thought I would hear from someone I gave my whole heart to. She looked straight at me, with a calmness that cut deeper than anger ever could, and said, "I'm only with you until someone better comes along." Her voice didn't shake, her eyes didn't blink. She said it like it was just another truth, as if she was telling me the weather outside or reminding me that the sun would rise tomorrow. But for me, it felt like the ground broke under my feet. I remember sitting there in silence. My hands froze, my chest tightened, my heart wanted to scream, but my lips betrayed me and whispered the only thing I could manage to say: "Fair enough." I don't know why those words came out. Maybe it was pride, maybe it was shock, or maybe it was my way of hiding the storm inside me. But in that moment, I saw her tilt her head, almost confused by my calmness. She thought I would beg, she thought I would fight, but I didn't. And that silence between us was louder than any argument could ever be. "I need you to stay with me till the end of this story," because what followed after that night changed everything I thought I knew about love, about trust, and about myself. When I first met her, she was like a spark I didn't know I was missing. She laughed with such ease, as if the world had no weight on her shoulders. Her smile wasn't perfect, but it was the kind of smile that made you forget your own worries. She had this way of making every place feel alive just by walking into it. And when she chose me, I thought I had won the greatest gift life could offer. In the beginning, everything felt like a dream. We would spend hours talking about little things: her favorite songs, the books she never finished, the foods she craved at midnight. I would listen, not because I had to, but because her voice made even the smallest details sound important. She told me about her childhood, her fears, and her wild plans for the future, and I believed every word, because I wanted to. I gave her all of me, not just the good parts, the broken ones too. I trusted her with my past, my scars, and my insecurities. I thought she was the one who would hold them gently. But slowly, I started to see cracks. Ones I ignored at first because love makes you blind. She would look at other men a little too long. She would talk about them with a spark in her eyes that she once had for me. She started comparing me subtly at first, then openly. I wasn't tall enough, I wasn't charming enough, I wasn't ambitious enough. Yet, despite all of that, she stayed, and I held on to the hope that staying meant something. But then came the night she said those words. We were sitting in the small coffee shop we often went to, the one where she once told me I was the best thing that ever happened to her. That night, though, she was distant. Her phone kept buzzing, and she kept smiling at messages I didn't see. I asked her softly, "Is something wrong?" She put her phone down, looked into my eyes, and said, "No, I just want to be honest with you." And that's when she said it. "I'm only with you until someone better comes along." The world around me faded. The voices, the music, the sound of cups clinking, it all disappeared. All I could hear was the breaking of something inside me that I couldn't fix. I told her, "Fair enough." Her expression changed for the first time. She looked surprised, almost disappointed. Maybe she wanted me to fight for her. Maybe she wanted to see me break. But I didn't give her that satisfaction. That night, I went home and stared at the ceiling for hours. I thought about every laugh we shared, every promise we made, every moment I thought was real. I questioned if any of it was true, or if it was all just her way of passing time, until she found someone else. But here's the thing: I didn't cry, I didn't scream, I didn't beg. Instead, I made a choice. If she was only staying until someone better came along, then I would show her that I was the one who deserved better. The days that followed were strange. She carried on as if nothing had happened. She still texted me, still asked me to meet, still held my hand in public. But I noticed the difference. Her touch wasn't the same. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. She wasn't mine, not fully, not truly. I started paying attention. She laughed a little too hard at other men's jokes. She dressed differently when she knew she would see certain people. She started comparing our relationship to others, always making me feel like I was falling short. One evening I asked her, "Do you even love me?" She paused, her lips curved into a half smile, and she said, "Love is complicated." That answer told me everything I needed to know. But instead of walking away right then, I stayed. Not because I was weak, but because I wanted to see how far she would go. I wanted to see if she truly believed that the grass would be greener elsewhere. Weeks turned into months. She tested my patience, my trust, my heart. And all the while, I stayed calm. I stopped giving her the attention she craved. I stopped being the safety net she always relied on. I became distant, not to hurt her, but to protect myself. Then one day, it happened. She met someone else. I could see it in her eyes before she even told me. She started coming home later. She smiled at her phone more than she smiled at me. She would cancel our plans without apology. And finally, she confessed, "I think I've found someone better." Her words were sharp, but my heart didn't shatter this time, because deep down, I had been preparing for this moment since the night she first told me the truth. I looked at her, calm and steady, and said, "Good. I hope he gives you everything you think I couldn't." She blinked. She wasn't expecting peace. She wasn't expecting acceptance. She wanted drama. She wanted pain. She wanted me to beg one last time. But I didn't. I stood up, grabbed my jacket, and walked away. She called after me, her voice suddenly shaky. "Wait, aren't you going to say anything else?" I turned and said, "No, because you already did." And that was the last time I saw her. Days later, I heard she was with him, and for a while, I felt empty. Not because I lost her, but because I had given so much of myself to someone who never planned to stay. But then, slowly, something changed. That emptiness turned into freedom. That pain turned into strength. I realized that her leaving wasn't the end, it was the beginning. The beginning of me learning that love isn't about holding on to someone who doesn't see your worth. It's about letting go so you can find someone who does. Months later, she tried to come back. I saw her message late one night. "I made a mistake. Can we talk?" I didn't reply, because, by then, I had learned something powerful. Sometimes, the best reply is silence. And in that silence, I finally found peace. So if you've ever been told you're not enough, or that someone is only with you until something better comes along, remember this: you are not a placeholder. You are not a second choice. You are someone's dream. And when the right person finds you, they'll never risk losing you. Stay until the very end of your battles, because sometimes walking away is not losing, it's winning yourself back. And that's how I turned heartbreak into freedom, and pain into strength. Never let anyone make you feel like a temporary option, because you were always meant to be someone's forever.